Ladies and gentlemen, I try to stay extremely objective on this channel as much as possible. I try to present things to you. I'll react emotionally to things if they're like fun, exciting, whatever. But when I'm giving analysis, giving takes, I try to stay relatively objective. I try to leave subjectivity out of it. But today I'm going to be a little bit more subjective. We have some things that have come to light surrounding Micah that I want to share with you guys because it's changed my perspective on things, and I think it's probably going to change yours a little bit. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoy this content. Hit it also because by the end of the week, I'm going to pick a random subscriber to win a $100 gift card to Good. You're going to get $100 on their site during their Black Friday week sale, which is going on right now. Everything on the site's 40% off. $100 is going to go a long way. You can get 2 pairs of joggers, you can get multiple polos, hats. I'm loving these long sleeve hoodies. I'm wearing these to the gym, casually, whatever. You can use it on whatever you want. All you have to do is be subscribed, so hit that button. Before we dive into the topic, couple quick YouTube golf housekeeping notes. This series, GM Golf and Bryson DeChambeau have been collaborating just nonstop. Like, I feel like every time I open YouTube, there's a new Bryson and Garrett video, to the point where I'm like, is this the same video? What's going on? Recently, down in Texas, tried to break 50 from the red tees, 2 parts, both on Bryson's channel, which I think is interesting. But I think the reason why they did both parts on Bryson's channel is because Bryson went on the Good podcast, which I think was supposed to come out yesterday, Monday. I think they said every Monday. I could be wrong in the date, but I think they're trying for once a week right now. And it seems like from pictures that Garrett has posted that Bryson is going to be on the Good podcast. So that might have been the trade-off, which that'll be interesting to hear. I mean, what Bryson's done with like YouTube and YouTube golf is like kind of wild in my opinion, kind of unprecedented. Like, not only because he's like a professional golfer who makes money playing golf, but he's like one of the wealthiest professional golfers in the world now because of the whole live deal situation. So I don't know why he feels the need to make YouTube videos, but nevertheless, they're obviously entertaining. It's very interesting to see someone who, like, he definitely has a unique personality, but he's not a YouTuber. You know, it's definitely very evident that there's like a production around him and like other people that are kind of more in charge of the creative than him, and he just kind of shows up and plays. But I don't know, could this be something we see from more pros in the future? Who knows? I think it's an interesting segue. I mean, I made a video about it yesterday, but just to kind of bring it back in case you didn't see it, there's a massive amount of collaborations coming with pro golfers and YouTubers because TaylorMade Media Day is going on right now. Down in Florida, every year around Thanksgiving, TaylorMade basically demos and unveils their newest equipment, and they shoot a bunch of videos with all their top pros that they then release subsequently throughout the next calendar year. In the past, Foreplay has been invited down to this, and they've done amazing videos like the Scotty Scheffler One Club Challenge. They've done stuff with Rory. They've done stuff with Morikawa, everyone. Well, now Grant and Micah are part of that crew, and Grant and Micah are down there in Florida right now. And if you've been following them on Instagram, they've been posting photos with, Micah's with Rory. That definitely was like, whoa. And then Grant followed it up with a couple big ones. I think Morikawa and Tommy Fleetwood. And then I think this morning, Micah posted one with Ricky Fowler. Absolutely exciting. Very, very exciting. I said it last night. I think if TaylorMade's smart, they're going to let these guys do like full matches. In the past, Foreplay has only basically had like 20 minutes with these guys at a time. So they've done like little challenge-based videos. Sure, fine. But like Grant and Micah, those are like guys who go out and play matches and play stroke play and whatever. So they're less like gimmicky challenge-based. So I feel like it's going to make more sense if they are able to do that. So hopefully, long drive contest, Rory and Micah, someone commented that yesterday. That would be absolutely insane. Definitely the content that could come out of this would be very entertaining to say the least. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what comes from it. All right, let's get into it. So there's a couple things that have come to light over the last, couple weeks that has given me a bit of a perspective shift on Micah and his path. And I think to this point, it has been confusing. And I'm not going to necessarily defend that because I think a lot of that, he's said things and then things have maybe double back on whether they're intentional or not. Feels like maybe they're, the whole pro golf thing I made a video about a couple weeks ago of like, I don't know where that narrative came from. It's like, well, it kind of sounded like that was, but there's a couple things that have come out that have kind of changed my opinion on this. So number one is, that's a great place to start, the whole pro golf thing. In the last 2 weeks, listening back to that Peter Finch pod that I reacted to, listening to him on a couple other things and, just seeing like comments on posts, whatever, I think the professional golf narrative, of course, he did say that. He did. I remember it. He did. In the videos that are not on his channel anymore, he definitely said stuff about pursuing pro golf. Where I think potentially it was either a miscommunication from him or a misrepresentation or understanding from us, the audience, is that I don't necessarily think he meant that he is leaving to play tour level golf, pro golf, tour level pro golf. I think Micah was like, I want to have more time. This is where it's speculative, but I think in his heart, it was, I want to have more time to put towards golf. I want to have more time to practice things I need to practice and pursue professional golf, because he is a professional golfer. He's a better than scratch golfer. So when he plays in golf tournaments, he plays as a professional. What that doesn't necessarily mean is I'm going to try to get on the PGA Tour. And I think that's where a lot of the hate around Micah has come. I mean, it's crazy. Like, even as recently as like yesterday, TaylorMade posted bunker clips, and the first, like the top comment most liked is like, post his score from his professional debut, or like his PGA Canada Tour debut, and where he finished dead last or whatever. That whole, I think a lot of that hate and whatever is directed because people think he came out being like, I'm leaving because I'm better than all these people at golf and I'm good enough to go play like PGA Tour level golf, and that's what's going to happen. And I think that was either a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. So that's thing one. Thing number two leads a bit more on, and guys, comment down below. This is a comment video. You definitely have to drop in the comments what you think, and I'm very curious to read them all and hear what you have to say. The second part of this ties a bit more into the response I'm alluding to, which is, I saw a comment from him yesterday on my video about Grant and Rick. He commented something along the lines of, I'll put it on screen, basically like, he believes that Grant in the next 3 to 5 years is going to be the biggest solo YouTuber. Huh, all right. This is interesting. He talked about on Peter's podcast, Peter Finch's podcast, a couple other podcasts, about how, you know, he wants to do YouTube, but he wants to also have other things in his life. I think a lot of us saw when he left Good, it was, again, similar to that, like, I'm leaving to not just play pro golf, but play tour level pro golf. I'm leaving to do my own channel, she obviously stated, but like, do my own channel and be the biggest YouTuber possible. I think that's, again, why else would you be leaving, right? Like, when you're a member of Good, your channel is a side gig. Like, believe it or not, GM Golf is a side gig. Like, it's a side gig for him. Good is his main thing. He takes the vast majority of his time. These guys' channels are subsidiaries. So you're not, I mean, Garrett is obviously one of, if not the biggest, him and Rick right now, two biggest individual creators, but like, it's not the recipe to get there by being a part of a big group like this. The recipe to be the biggest creator is exactly what Grant's doing. It's like 100% full-on focus to you and your own channel, posting super consistently, high quality content, like really caring about every aspect of it. That's the path. And I think because Grant left and Michael left, and they both talked about going on their own channels, we both thought it was going to be like, beep, 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 beep. What has come to light recently through that comment and just other things he said is that I really firmly believe him now when he says that, like, he just wants to be like a content creator as like a third of his occupation. I don't think Micah has any desire to be the biggest YouTuber. And I think he maybe is aware that like the things that it would take are maybe intangibles that he doesn't possess, but also sacrifices he's unwilling to make. And part of this, like leaving Good, leaving the group, leaving that time commitment of like 3 weeks a month on the road, is to devote to the other things, the Airbnb projects, you know, time with family, hunting, fishing, all the other things that he enjoys doing. So I think those two things are really two of the strongest misconceptions, I guess. And again, I don't want to say misconceptions because I don't want to just blame us. Like, I think miscommunications too. I think Mike has said certain things that like made it sound very much like both those two assumptions, although they were wrong. Now, so looking back, they sounded very accurate at the time. So I don't want to sit here and say it was just us, but I also don't want to sit here and say it was just. But at the end of the day, I think those reasons of just like wanting to have like a wider, more time to spread to a wider pool of things, to not have one thing be the North Star, to not have just, you know, 3 weeks a month, good trips, that's the North Star. To not just have his one channel, that's the North Star. To not just have pro golf, that's the North Star. To not just have, you know, back end business ventures like the Airbnb stuff, that's the North Star. He wants to have it sparsed out of all those things. And when you do that, when you try to do 4 or 5 things, you can do them all well, but you can't do them all great. You're not going to be the best at any of those things, but that's fine. That's totally fine. That's just how some people want to operate. There are freaks out there like me and like other people who like, they have one thing and that's just completely obsessed over it and that's all they want to do. But, you know, there are people whose brains work differently and they want to sparse it out. And so listen, I do think there's a lot of the hate stemming from the Micah breakup. A lot of it, I think, is due to misconceptions. Not all of it, but I think a lot of it is, if people truly understood, if it was communicated perfectly and clearly from the get, would understand things differently. So that's my kind of new perspective. I really do think it all makes a bit more sense now. Like, I really think we see that Grant has left, and his, like, you know, trajectory is like, I want to be the biggest solo YouTuber. Boom, he's doing it. He's starting a teaching channel. And Mike is like, I kind of want to just like have a YouTube channel and like do fun stuff, but I also want to like do these other things and like kind of be more of like a normal dude and whatever. And that's fine. That's great. There are so many huge creators that you guys probably watch in other avenues who just do it on the side. Like, it's more than possible. So yeah, I don't think there's a problem with it. I think it all makes a bit more sense now. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Interesting one to share. We're almost at a year since the breakup. We're like 2 weeks away, which is kind of crazy. So it felt timely to share this information. But anyway, take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you later.